first want to ask about Trenton Swanson. Is he a legit option to kick off in the fall?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Anybody that can put in the end zone is an option. He did some of that at where he was formerly. He's a little bit of a factotum in a few different arenas. So right now we got one kicker on campus. We'll bring a kicker on campus in the fall. But if our best chance to put the ball in the back of the end zone is Swanee, then we'll go with Swanee. And somebody else will go with somebody else because we got to do what's best for the team. But yes, it's a legitimate option. So he's been our backup field goal kicker this spring. Hope that's not the case in fall, but he could be the starting kickoff specialist in the fall for sure. Yeah.
Another special teams question. Nate Bell was out there returning everything. Is he? When you go into fall, do you want him to be the number one? Would you like somebody else to win that job? How are you feeling about that?
Dan, there's a lot of things I want in life and I don't get. It is a possibility. It's easier with the way it's set up now, being the return units, being offensive guys, just putting a guy back there. It's either him or Cole, and then Cole got banged up a little bit mid-practice. So just put him back there, sure hands, to be able to do that. It is a possibility. Obviously, you don't want a guy in the depth chart at quarterback to be in that situation. So punt is probably not where we probably land him, but he's sure hands. So if we need a situation where it's a fair catch opportunity, trust him. But I'm not going to say anything's off the table because you asked me the same thing with Michael Wortham a couple years ago being a kick returner. So that's not ideal, but if it makes our team the best, I don't want to take something away from something else to gain in another. If we're losing on the return, it's not the best thing for the team. So if that means putting somebody else back there, great. If that means him at times, that's also great. But he's a viable option if needed.
And then as far as the quarterback situation, how much weight does this have? Does it have equal weight to practices, to scrimmages? How do you factor that in as you decide who's going to enter fall as the number one?
Yeah, I don't know if it's as much as my decision. I don't want to put a percentage on it. I think practices are a big chunk of it. I really do. Y'all see just the time when you come out here, so it's easy to go, well, boy, he's playing awesome, or oh boy, he's not playing awesome. Well, then all of a sudden we've got 12 others to evaluate. So we'll take the numbers which we got over all spring, and then there'll obviously be some analyzation on practice, padded practice, Skelly versus 11 on 11. I mean, there's a lot of variables. And the biggest thing for us is to continue to possess the ball. Like, we're not going to be game managers. That's not what we're asking our guys to do. But if we're careless with the football, that's where the pendulum swings a little bit. And it's easier to be a little bit more careless in scrimmages than in games because there's not another team you're playing, and so trying to keep that game mindset in a scrimmage setting is probably one of the hardest things to do with anybody, knowing that you can throw the ball in the air after a pick and not probably get a penalty. But in this season, it's probably going to be a different outcome. So I want those guys to have fun and let it rip at times, but at the same time, not put so much pressure on themselves to think every single rep is a one-and-done situation, because we got two kids that are amazing back there, and that competition is not just healthy on the field, but it's also healthy off the field as well.
For being a redshirt sophomore, Jaxon Branch he caught just about everything that came his way. Is that something that you expected of him, or is this just something that's came about as of recently in the spring?
No, I think if you ask me, we probably expected more of that last fall. He wasn't as healthy as he would have liked to been, but the first game he caught a couple balls, and one it was probably a 30-40 yard game, one of our bigger chunk gains, if I remember right, at Incarnate Word. So the expectation is always there. Sometimes we fall short of it because of things out of our control, but he was a guy we were really excited about last year to be able to make plays on the edge, and obviously we haven't made enough on the edge in the last couple of years, so hopefully his availability allows us more of an ability to be more dynamic outside. But he's put in a ton of work, and his mindset from after last season has been different. Like, he's taken this off season and said, I want to be the number one. We've graduated some seniors. I want to be that guy, but to be that guy, you got to do those things, and he's done those things consistently for the last 4 or 5 months. So really proud of him, and obviously catching everything helps, and it helps confidence. It helps the team's confidence, because we're all going to be rooting for that kid in the fall. And so as much as it was a factor against our own guys today, I mean, those are things that we're going to be very, very excited about come fall. So proud of his progression, He just kind of kept his chin down and his eyes up and kept working in the offseason. So that all showed today.
Obviously, the defense won today, but when it comes to the offense, and Nate Bell was able to move the ball down the field, some of the other quarterbacks weren't. I don't know how much of it was matchups or first team or whatever, but does that play into, hey, maybe Nate takes the reins going into the fall, or is that not even
certainly it plays? I mean, you got to see the game flow. Obviously, the people around. We're not going to take every scenario or every series and go, well, he had a 4 and he had a 2 and this. I mean, that's too much because game flow is a big thing, and sometimes guys make plays, and sometimes drives don't continue because guys didn't make the plays, the routine plays. So is that on the quarterback or is that on the ball? I mean, there's a lot of variables to that, but that definitely plays. And both kids are playing with a ton of confidence, Jake and Nate. They got a good feel for the game. They've both taken major strides. They still got a lot of strides to go from a vocal leadership standpoint. I hear those guys and it's like, whose voice is that? Which is exciting because it's the quarterback's team. At the end of the day, every football team is a quarterback's team, and so now they're kind of doing it together when they get the opportunity. So certainly that plays into the evaluation of it. We'll sit and watch film. We'll talk as a staff, and our guys are going to get on the road next week. So we've got some time. But again, like I illustrated to you last week, Dan, when we name whoever it is, that is for July 28th. That's the day we're going to report. Then 29th is our first practice. That has nothing to do with August 29th. It might or might not, but it's for the summer, and it's no disrespect to the other individual that's competing. Like, it's just, so I don't want to look too far down the rabbit hole when we get to that decision, and we'll consult with those quarterbacks before the decision is made, and have a healthy discussion, which I anticipate will be a very smooth conversation with both those guys being as mature and as wise beyond their years that they are.
Are you going to buy Ambrose Marsh's family new shirts with new numbers because he switched to number 8? And I'm just curious.
The NCAA might not like that.
Okay.
Are you putting me on the spot because I passed the test, Dan?
My question
any
really
purchase, I will go to compliance first before I answer yes to anything.
Why did he earn that number?
Did you ask that? Well, there's no. Some of it is the jerseys that departed last year. They framed jerseys, so they've departed literally off campus. So we haven't put together the jersey montage of numbers, the numerical roster, until after spring, because grades do matter. Spring grades do matter. So there's an evaluation. Obviously, there's how long you've been here, how much your impact has been, what is your impact off the field. Like, there's a lot of things that Coach Pierce is in charge of numbers this year. Coach York was last year, and that was one thing that Jim McElwain of Florida told me. He goes, get an assistant coach to do your numbers. And I wish he would have told me that a year earlier, because in 17 I did the numbers, and that was, everybody's got 4 numbers and everybody wants the same number. What do you determine it on? And so I abruptly took that off my plate after the 17 going into 17 season, and that has been off my plate. So that's why I've slept probably a lot easier after 17, giving up the numbers. But we'll make sure that those things are done by middle of late June. The quarter's not over till June, and I do mean when grades play, they do play, and not just in spring, but their career and then the last year. So a lot of those guys want to get into single-digit numbers, and a lot of them want the same single-digit number, and we're not going to double up numbers. We're just not going to do that. We're not going to pout and go home because we don't get what we want. You're still going to play the way you play, regardless of the number you wear.
Is this team where it needs to be at the end of spring ball?
We're always more. Yeah. But it's interesting you say, boy, I won't tell you which one, but one of the officials goes, boy, that was a much better outfit than there was 2 weeks ago. So I didn't know if that was like a backhanded compliment to me or a shot at, I just took it neutral. But I said, yeah, you're darn right. But that's what progression's all about. You're going to have some bad days. I hope we have our bad days in practice, our greatest days when we're competing and they're keeping score. Sometimes it's the opposite, but the world only tells you about the days that they keep score, and the media's out. That's what you're based on. So that's why we want to brighten the lights. That's why we want to put situations like this together, because some guys do rise to the occasion consistently in these moments. Some guys don't rise as much as you anticipate them to in these moments. So that was I'll take that as a positive compliment for, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago we had 7 of the 11 drives were 3 or 4 or 5 and outs. It was like, my goodness. I mean, you couldn't even. get a bathroom break and grab a dog because it would be a new series. So it's a testament to getting a feel. And the defense is usually ahead in any spring or fall as far as that stuff. And it's nice to have a little back and forth affair and having some success, especially when you're throwing the ball to 19.
What does the summer look like for these guys, and what are your expectations? What do you expect of them going into the fall?
Yeah, I really a lot of it has to do with them kind of running whatever out by themselves, because I think there is a disassociation that needs to happen during winter after we've done a whole fall, or during summer when we have had an entire spring, from coaches and players. Like, as much as coaches think the players want to be around them all the time, this just in, that's not the case, and it goes both ways. So it's good to get a break, just like my kids at home. Like, at some point, it's good to call a timeout, even if it's a 30-second timeout, just to kind of create a little bit of, okay, now I'm looking forward to getting back into things. So mending the dings and dents, that's the biggest deal for those guys that have the nagging stuff. Getting surgeries for the guys that need surgeries. There's a couple guys that need it, and hopefully they're back to almost full strength as we hit camp. But just finishing up in the classroom. We got a month and a half left in the classroom. That's a big thing. Take a week and a half off and truly get off your feet. Do what you need to do. And then get back at it when we start our summer access program June 22, and it's going to be about 5 weeks and we're back at it. So it's coming before we know it. It's May 1, before you know it, it's June 1, then before you know it's July 1, and then before you know it, we're here. And so don't speed up the process. You got to take some time out of your day to do some different things to kind of get back at the grind. But you got to be re-energized enough to be able to feel like you're ready for the start of when we get to fall camp time.
Swanson first. Is there anything that he doesn't do? I see he kicks, he catches. What can you tell us about your new teammate?
We're glad to have him. He came from Idaho, so V's down, obviously. But, he could do it all. He picked the playbook up pretty fast, too, and he's a really trustworthy guy for the quarterbacks to come out there and throw the ball. And he's out there doing special teams, too. So he could do it all. It's pretty cool to have him on our team right now, yeah.
So did you have a favorite catch from today?
Oh, honestly, I'd probably say the first touchdown, just because that's my roommate. And so, when I go home, I got to talk some trash to him. So that's probably my favorite one. And then the 2-point conversion, that one was pretty cool, too.
Was that over Ambrose?
The first one was over, Ambrose, and then JP over there for the 2-point conversion.
So is there a healthy amount of trash talking going on during a spring game like this?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I said a couple words to the guys out there because they were talking trash, talking about we're not going to win. I mean, obviously the score, we didn't win, but we had some good plays out there, so we won as a collective. I have no idea what that means.
Remember, maybe that's what he's saying.
Jax, talk a little bit about these quarterbacks who are throwing the ball to you. Obviously, Nate was able to drive the ball down the field. The other guys maybe had a few hiccups. But what's kind of the chemistry between you and these three quarterbacks?
I just love those guys. Those are family. So we're always getting extra catches in. We're always in the film room. So I just know the place to be just to get the ball. And they all throw a great ball. So honestly, whoever's out there, I'm glad to have them.
I know you're a redshirt sophomore.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Just tell how far along have you come in this process of becoming the guy that maybe wants to make those kind of big-time highlight catches?
Really just studying the playbook and just getting comfortable. Last year I wasn't really as confident, but just now that I'm getting the playbook down, I'm getting more confidence, and just I'm out there really telling myself no one out there could guard me. So, yeah, that helps.
Well, how'd your spring go?
The spring went great. This really doesn't matter. This really just gets us going for fall. So I'm really just waiting for fall. So we'll see what happens when we go out there.
What do you guys need to work on in between spring and when the fall camp and summer, I guess, rolls around? Or is there anything that you need to work on?
I'd say for me, probably my stamina. I was out there gassed. But our whole team. I think we just need to get closer together, hang out more. We're all pretty good, skill-wise. So I'm not really worried about technique. I feel like the more we're team chemistry, the more fun we want to win.
Can you talk us through that interception that you had there?
Jaxon had 3 touchdowns. So I had to somebody had to cover him. So I dropped back, pick. I'll take it.
What was your number change, right? Were you wearing a different one? Why'd you switch to 30?
Got it framed.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
How'd you get it framed?
Graduated.
okay.
Yeah, so framed it, shipped it out. So 30 now.
So is this your second year here or third year here?
Second.
Second year.
Yes, sir.
And you've played in various places.
Right.
What have you appreciated about being here at Eastern now in year 2?
I get to be around the head coach. Like the staff, the custodians, they're all around. And, you know, we're one. We're family. The dean's around, our AD's around. It's like one big family. So, yeah, I really appreciate it, and I love it. Love being here.
Been about a month of spring ball.
Right.
What have you guys gotten better at defensively?
Confidence. Like, you know, we run out on the field with confidence, entering the arena. I think we're more violent than last year. So, you know, we're really worried about the ball and more tackles.
Have you been able to gather confidence for yourself as well? I mean, how has this spring kind of allowed you to do things like that?
Right. Guarding Jaxon Branch every day, for sure. Jaxon Branch, Cole, you know, Wes. Those guys are amazing. So you go against those guys every day. You know, iron sharpen iron.
This defense likes to fly around. I know likes to be physical,
Yeah.
but how do you guys improve upon that? I know it's only 15 practices in the spring, but how do you make sure you keep getting better and better, especially when you're going into the
Coach Bruce gave us a quote. The greats never get tired of the basics. So every day we just keep on practicing, going to the ball regardless.
Yeah, what does your summer look like as you want to improve?
Right. Get faster, bigger, stronger as a team, you know. And that's really much it.
So many guys are back on this defense.
Right.
When maybe a few guys could have left and, I don't know, maybe made a little bit of money. Why do you think so many guys stuck around defensively this year?
The culture, you know, it's more of a brotherhood. Like it's not like, oh, we just on defense or play for Eastern. It's like one big family, like I harped on one of the questions before. So I think it's just more like you stay and I stay. So it's like a brotherly love thing. So that's pretty good.
56 points. I know they gave you 29 to start.
29.
But what do you make of the final score here?
Obviously, got to put some points up. We got to put some points up. So I mean, I'm happy. I'm on the winning team. So I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Thank you, Dre.